Good morning. What I wanted to do was kind of walk you through how to append the metadata and rename any files for class. So what we're going to do is the first thing that you need to do is open up Bridge. Again, if your Bridge does not kind of look like this, it could be that your display settings are too high and you just need to go to your desktop, right click, and go to display settings and change it to 100% from 150, and it'll size down your screen. And then once you're done with Bridge, you can go ahead and resize it back if you need to. Once you begin in Bridge, what you need to do is come over here to the left hand side, or actually go to the top and go to Essentials. This is the easiest way to do this. And then over to the left, go to wherever you have your file saved. I personally have this one saved on my desktop. You could have it saved on your PC in Documents or in a folder, so you can go to that as well. But I'm going to go to my desktop and I'm going to go to my file that's called Working. And I'm going to find the file with the images for today, which I have called Example. First thing you need to do then is go ahead and set your metadata. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of my images that I am going to be using for my example today. And you can click on the first one, hold Shift and click on the last one. Or you can simply click outside the first box and drag. Or if you want to pick ones that aren't necessarily in order, you can click on the images and then hold Control button down while you select whatever other images you wanted to select. But since I am using all of them, I'm going to go ahead and select all of them. On the top of your screen, you're then going to go to the button that says Metadata. If you cannot see this, you can also go to the little arrow that's at the end and do the drop down and do Metadata. Now we have to append the data that we have put on here. We created a new metadata at the beginning of the semester. If you did not do that, you just simply go onto these three little lines at the end of metadata and do create metadata and fill out the pop-up screen that comes up if you haven't done that already. We've already done that at beginning of class, so what we're going to do now is we're going to append it. So you're simply going to come on here, click on the three little lines again, and go down to append metadata, and the one that we did for this class, which I called photo class. Now, it may not look like it does a whole lot. It takes it a second, but what you can do is come over here and on your drop down screens on this side, I'm going to close all mine so you can see them all. There are all these different little tabs. You need to go to the IPTC Core tab, and it should now have your name in it, where you live, and any of the other information that we entered, also along the lines of copywritten. Once you've done that, at the bottom of this panel, there is a check mark, and you're just going to hit Apply. That is now attached your metadata. The next thing you need to do is go in here and name a file. And there's two different ways I'm going to show you to do this because it all depends on how many files you're turning into me. If you're simply turning in one image to me, you can go up to the image that you want to turn in, click on the name of the actual file. So mine is DSC2493, and it'll allow you to change the name of it. And remember, we always do last name, underscore, the name of the project, underscore, and the number. So if it's only one image, you would do 1. If you're turning in 3, you would do 01 on one, 02 on the next one, 03 on the last one. Okay, so I've named my file now. You can see it pops it down to the end, and it is now ready to be turned in to OneDrive. If you need the link to the OneDrive, go to the Teams chat for this class and go all the way to the very first chat that we had in the class, and the link is right there. Now let's say that we wanted to name all of the files. So what I would do is I'm going to select them all, and you're going to have to turn them all in. So I selected them all, and I'm going to come up to I'm going to come up to Tool and Batch Rename. In this window here, I can name the files exactly what I want, and this will actually stay from time to time. So the next time you come in, you'll just have to correct the second part and change the name of the project that you're working on. So for the first text, and if you need to add and subtract these, you simply do it over here by adding or subtracting to get rid of them. You will need a text box and then you'll type in your last name underscore. You're going to need another text box, and you can find that by dropping down the panel. And this is going to be the project name. And if you're confused about what the project name is, you can check in both Blackboard or OneDrive and find that. And then in the last one, you want it to be sequence number. And you're going to type in a number 1 if you're on the first image. And then you want this to read 2 digits. I never have you turn in more than 10 images unless it's on a contact sheet. So right now, 2 digits is just fine there. And you can see right down here under preview, it says current file name, and then it says file name, new file name. So Niehaus project name, and then the number. And you simply hit rename. Now it's renamed all the files and they're ready to be turned into OneDrive. So again, you can go back to Teams to the top comment, or if you've already opened up our OneDrive shared file, if you go to OneDrive and go to your shared files or recent items, you can also open it that way, and then you would just be able to slide these in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do this the easier way. So I'm going to go to my OneDrive and I'm going to open it up right here, and all of these projects or all of these image needs to go into my project 1. So I'm going to, I didn't have a project 1 folder for you, so I went ahead and created it. So you would go to this project 1, open it up. If you have one image, you're simply going to click on that image and drag it and drop it in, and you may have to size your screens. You just pick it up, drag it, and drop it in. And it takes it a second, and now it's in there, and you're done. If you need to load more than one image, I ask that you do create a new folder using your last name. And then you can take all of your images from Bridge and simply drag them over and drop them into that folder. This makes it a little bit easier. Now, if you don't want to drag them from Bridge into here, you can go to Upload and Files and find them and put them in here. This just, since you're already in Bridge naming everything, it just makes it a little bit easier to drop it in. Okay, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email or ask me in class, and I can go over with you one-on-one how to do this process.